support for the mother. I didn't put the child on my income tax as a deduction. Boom, 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 right down the line. Now the judge hears all of that. And instead of the 50%, he can reduce that down to 10%, 5%, or even 0%.
You're a good lawyer.
And then based upon that, the index instead of 98% is a heck of a lot less.
And do you handle any custody litigation now?
No.
Did you ever?
Oh yes, even before they had the mediations and whatever else.
And how did you become a referee?
Well, that's very interesting. Rick Torres and I are very close friends. Rick Torres was the presiding judge. And one evening, he and his wife and my wife and I were having dinner together. And Rick says to me, Phil, Commissioner so-and-so just retired, and there's a vacancy in 2F, and you've been handling paternity cases and child support. How would you like to take over? I thought about it for about 2 seconds. I said, okay. That's how I became it. And he also said that you're going to be sitting as a judge pro tem.
And how long have you been?
6 years.
6 years. And how do you fill your days now? Other than working, what do you do? And staying away from your wife, of course.
No,
Bad.
I refer cases to attorneys that I'm not going to handle. And those cases I do handle, I take to Commonwealth.
And do you handle any cases at the Commonwealth, Evan, in your practice?
I've handled some cases in Commonwealth.
And they're mostly child support cases?
They're mostly child support cases.
So what are your favorite type of cases, then? Do you have any that you prefer?
I prefer to handle, a case with a lot of issues, like a case involving a business and children and forensic accountants and
that's what's great about family law. Is there's so many different aspects to it.
One of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that I was raised in East L.A.
Really?
A poor section of L.A. And when I became a lawyer, I wanted to give something back. So I volunteered to represent indigents on a pro bono basis in Department 2. That was a master calendar at the time. Everybody went to Department 2 to be sent out. And the first day, the Judge Billy Mills, who was a supervising judge, says, I need volunteers to represent Mr. So-and-so on a paternity case. And all these big shot lawyers from Beverly Hills sitting in the jury box were sitting on their hands doing nothing. I said, Judge, I'll volunteer, I'll represent. Fine. So that day I represented 3. Fortunately, I had to be in Department 2 the next day. Same thing happened. I volunteered for another 3. Third day I happened to be in 2. Then on the third day I went to see Billy Mills. I said, Judge, if you will put all the court-appointed cases on a Monday, I'll handle them all. And I did. I didn't know what I was getting into because I started representing 20 cases, 25 cases, and fortunately, in the 80s, the president of the State Bar awarded me a State Bar Pro Bono Award.
Oh, that's great.
Which I think is very nice. And when I was on the bench, I created a family law indigent paternity panel, which is a panel of lawyers that the court would appoint to represent indigents and be paid $50 an hour, which is an amount which they now pay their secretaries.
Right.
So
how does that work? If someone doesn't have the money to have the paternity test?
Fellow come for me, and I know he was over his head because he's dealing at the time with a district attorney. And I would say, sir, are you working? No. Do you want the court to appoint an attorney to represent you? Yes. All right, I'll appoint Mr. So-and-so. He took over, and he submits a fee declaration. I approve, and he was paid.
Now, we've got 3 minutes, so I want to be sure to get this in. David, he's our director today. If you can, be sure to run the the Yahoo, the email address. And from what I understand, now, Mr. Jaffe and I know Mr. Sussman, I want to thank you both for being here. Ms. Felicia Myers. Is there a fee for your consultations?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Well,
We
I
always
didn't know
charge.
that's what she's on right there. But I do know, without any solicitation, I want to thank you all for being here. There's no fee for consultation at Mr. Sussman's. And Mr. Jaffe, is there a fee for a consultation?
For today?
No. Do I look like I'm
No.
No, we're
Of
paying
course
you
not.
today.
No.
If I'm going to represent free of charge, I'm going to charge you for
Okay.
it.
Right.
Anyway, be sure, if you have any questions, feel free to write in your questions. There's an email address. It's wanda24@yahoo.com. Once again, it's WANDA at yahoo.com. Feel free to ask any question you like, and we'll be sure to make sure that the attorneys get your question. Thank you so much. I wanted to be sure to thank you all for being here. And in the next few years, let's see, 91 years, you're going strong. In the next few years, Mr. Sussman, where do you see yourself going? Are you still going to be practicing at 91?
I really hope that I could be, as strong and as vibrant as Mr. Jaffe.
Okay, all right, Vice Chair. And,
Thank you.
and Felicia?
Ditto. I hope.
Yeah?
That's all I can say.
Okay, so we've got the beauty, the power, and the wisdom. So thank you so much. We've got 1 minute.
Thank you for having us.
Is there anything that's just burning that you want to leave us with some words of wisdom? How did you stay married for 60 some odd years?
Argue with my wife and make up.
Smart man.
So agree with your wife and make up, and you too can be happy. I like that. Thank you so much for joining us on The Answer of the Lips. You're representing from the halls of justice. You've done an excellent job, and there's nothing more than I admire than the fine legal representation that all three of you offer.
And thank you, Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda, for
Thank
having
you.
us here.
Appreciate it.
And I'm so proud of our bar and our executive committee. Thank you.
And Evan will be our next chair.
Oh
so
my
we'll look forward.
God.
We'll look forward to that.
Oh, I'm sure his office is excited about that.
Yeah.
No.
And it's a great honor, and it's great to have him as a partner.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. Once again, we've got Beverly Hills and Century City in the house. Ventura, join us next week on The Answer of the Lips. Thank you so much.